Running back is Emmanuel Wilson. The quarterback, Elgersma from Canada. Oh, nice hole up the middle. Chugs his way down to the 38-yard line. Big gain of 8 right there with the third string offensive line on the field.
Nice hole there. Nice blocking all around. Jennings working up to the second level. Will Shepard getting inside on his man. Feels good as a running back when you can get past the line of scrimmage. It's not just a crack that you got to try and push your pads through.
Taylor Elgersma from Wilfrid Laurier College in Canada, which is equivalent to D2 or 3 in the States. Second down 2. And Wilson again. He's got the first down and more. With the second, third, and fourth teamers on the offensive line up there, that's a gain of 5 after a gain of 8 and a first down for Green Bay.
And the Packers have done this with quarterbacks in the past on the bubble, right? They're going to keep 3 quarterbacks in some form or fashion here, most likely on the practice squad. And they had Sean Clifford come out for the last drive. Now they got Elgersma in there for this drive. And they're going to try and give them both. They said this is an open competition, and they are not quite sure who's going to step up and steal this thing.
It's 1st and 10. Hardman jet sweep. And getting blocks downfield. Nice. Outside. Good burst. First down run near the 21 of Seattle. And that is how they want to use him in gadget ways and as a return man.
And if you're going to make the roster as a wide receiver here in Green Bay, you're going to block good stuff out of Julian Hicks on the outside. Malik Heath, who was known for some time as being the most physical blocker. Right. Out of the wide receiver unit. Christian Watson will have some words on that one when he comes back, but both of those guys getting out there, getting in front of their men, good job.
Belton is the right tackle. Telford is the left tackle. First down and 10. Wilson here, cuts outside, then cut in, down to the 11-yard line. And it's Connor O'Toole, promising player out of Utah, linebacker, the tackle, a gain of 9, and Wilson running well.
You don't necessarily want to go outside your kick-out block when you have that play called, but when you got speed like Emmanuel Wilson and you can hit the corner like that, you know there's going to be a free man in the secondary. He makes that man miss. Really nice run, setting up a really short second down.
Wilson was injured early in camp. Now he's come back. Right now as part of the top 3 with Lloyd out. Second down and 1. Elgersma, Wilson cutting. Good-looking drive inside and led by a couple. Ben Sims in there blocking the tight end. They also had Belton in there with the block, John, and a gain of 5. It's a 1st and goal for Green Bay.
Nice patience by Wilson on this run. It's hard. You want to get that first down, but you got to let the linemen get to their blocks and finish their blocks. He lets the wave go in front of him before he cuts it back vertically. Got ourselves a 1st and goal.
He played at Division II, Fort Valley State. On this drive, Emmanuel Wilson has had runs of 8, 5, 9, and 5. Maniconda is the new back. Elgersma, the Canadian rookie free agent, is under center, and a 1st and goal.
Timeout. Green Bay.
Another Green Bay timeout.
The 30-second timeout.
They'll have one left. Can we talk about Elgersma here a little bit? Because this would be a good time to do that as he's become the 3rd Green Bay quarterback. He won the Canadian college version of the Heisman Trophy. He was undrafted. He's from outside of Toronto, London, Ontario. And in Canadian college football, and our Green Bay audience knows this, but for the rest of you, they use 12 men, not 11, and the field is wider with Canadian Football League rules.
So you had to really study up Canadian football, Gaelic football.
Yeah, right, yes.
You really know your stuff here,
Thank you. And I've told you I've had 8 years of German. 1st and goal, Wilson with the call and grabbed on the play by J.R. Singleton, who's out of Iowa State. Makes the stop, no gain. 2nd down and goal. They love his arm. You've talked to the coaches about him. What do they think about a rookie free agent? And there is a battle, I think we should say, between him and
Sean Clifford.
Sean Clifford.
Absolutely. And the thing about Elgersma is everything is spinning. Everything's going really fast. But he's one of the hardest working guys. He's in the building. spending extra time, and they said he's one of the hardest workers on the team. But they love his physical stature at 6'5", and the fact that he can really spin this football. The physical tools are there. Can they catch him up to speed for what an NFL quarterback needs to think about mentally?
Abanikanda is the one to grab it with the handoff from Elgersma. He played in 3 off-season U.S. college football all-star games, and that's where he caught the eye of the Packers general manager and, of course, their coach, Matt LaFleur. The center on this particular drive is Lecitus Smith, who was signed in the middle of camp with them last year in camp. Abanikanda, a former 5th-round pick by the Jets, is the back. 3rd down and goal, the fake. Telford the block to the end zone. Caught, touchdown. Elgersma throws it. Grabbed by Shepard. The Packers get their 2nd touchdown pass by their 2nd different quarterback today.
One of the Packers' staples in the red zone. Double crisscross, both receivers all the way across the formation with a play action. He could have thrown it to Will Shepard. He could have thrown it to Julian Hicks there on the other side. Both had a step on their man as they were crossing the formation. The 2nd level gets held by the play action. Beautiful play.
McManus will drill it home. The Packers have taken advantage of 2 turnovers by Seattle. 2 touchdown passes. The rookie free agent from Canadian college football, Taylor Elgersma, right on the screws. Well, Taylor Elgersma is about 6'6". We've not had too many Canadian quarterbacks in the NFL. One did win a Super Bowl, Mark Rippon, back in the day for Washington. He's trying to break the mold. And, of course, we've never had a Canadian college quarterback in pro football. That in the NFL, that will be taken in the end zone, left there out to the 35, touchback, 1st and 10. But this is interesting because Clifford, who he's competing for that 3rd slot with, had such an incredible record-setting career at Penn State and in the Big Ten Conference, and he's been with the team. Now this is his 3rd training camp.
Yeah, and he runs the practice squad, and he runs the show down there. They know what they have in Sean Clifford, and they're excited about what could be with Elgersma. So this is where it comes down with roster breakdowns. How do you do this? Do you go for future upside, or do you stick with the guy who's been there and has done a solid job for you?
Elgersma was drafted in the Canadian Football League by Winnipeg in the 2nd round. He's making a go here in the NFL. And he's giving the Packer coaches offensively a lot to think about. 2nd down and 10. And to the air. Telford the block. Going deep. It is receiver at a moment of daylight. That was Shepard with the coverage by a couple, including D'Anthony Bell, who is a veteran playing over 3 years with the Cleveland Browns. Incomplete.
Shepard slowed down for just a tick as he went to the inside there. And that little bit of hesitation kept him from being able to get to that football.
Mar Johnson the back. He had that 39-yard touchdown run against the Jets in the first preseason game. 3rd down and 10. Elgersma. Hardman. The Packers are winning today 20-0. Defenses look great. They have forced 3 Seattle turnovers. Packers have got a couple of short touchdown passes. One by the guy in there right now, the rookie free agent, Elgersma. Taylor Elgersma with a 1st and 10. And here's a run outside. Abanikanda, who was waived by San Francisco, a 3rd-year running back out of Pitt, picks up 3 right there. With today's smile moment of the game, brought to you by Invisalign Clear Aligners, the official smile of the Green Bay Packers.
Oops.
And Shepard. Sometimes you got to haul them out.
You need to assist from the fans, though.
Yeah,
they can't drop you in the front row.
2nd down and 7. And a quick hit in there by D'Anthony Bell on Israel Abanikanda. Gain of 4. 3rd down and 3 with a look at Shepard. Played with Shedeur Sanders at Colorado last year.
You hear the term playing in front of the sticks, and so many penalties, so many unforced errors by the Packers in their first 6 quarters of the preseason. But now you see what it looks like playing ahead of the sticks in the run game. Set up a very manageable 3rd and 3 here for your young quarterback.
Anaconda is the running back. And Elgersma to the air. Lippy a block at the guard. It goes outside, caught by Julian Hicks, and he's got the first down. He skirts right by Connor O'Toole, the linebacker. And on 3rd and 3, he picks up 5 in Green Bay with the first down.
A couple of nice moves there out of Julian Hicks after the catch, and you can kind of get a glimpse of Elgersma's big arm right there, able to get it from inside the hashes all the way out to the sideline on a zip. So, I mean, that was a good throw out of him, but an even better play there out of Hicks to be able to make a couple Seahawks miss and get the first down.
Brant Banks is the left tackle out of Rice. J.J. Lippy out of Northern Illinois is the left guard. Lasita Smith remains the center. 1st and 10. Anaconda will take it near the 30-yard line. You see the gang tackle on a gain of 4, just nudging his way by the Green Bay 30. Seattle defense is a battle for the final safety spot, coming down to Bell, Reed, Okada. It's 3rd and 8. Nice catch after a good-looking throw. And it's grabbed out there by Julian Hicks. He's had a good camp. He's out of Albany. Picks up 6 on 3rd and 8. 4th and 2. They bring the punting unit out.
I know it didn't get the first down, but I just like the mechanics all around there.
I agree.
Elgersma at the top of the drop, steps into the throw, fires one. You got Julian Hicks making a hands catch on that one. So many times in the preseason games, you see guys try and catch it with their body, plucks it out of the air, almost gets the first down.
Former 49er Davis Price is in the backfield. Elgersma is the quarterback, 16 of Green Bay. It's 1st and 10 as the Packer defense continues to pitch a shutout against the rookie quarterback of Seattle in the offense. Tyrion Davis Price, he's out of LSU with a gain of 1 right there. 2nd down and 9. Signed during camp with all the injuries, especially to Marshawn Lloyd, who continues, I think, to be one of the most elusive things the Packers can get a grasp on. He clearly, when he's been healthy, John, has been spectacular. But his health is leaving.
He is electric. The man has some wiggle and has some burst that we really haven't seen here in the running back position. And, you know, Josh Jacobs is a tremendous running back in his own right, but the element of burst and explosiveness that Marshawn Lloyd brings is great. But we've only seen the first signs of it because the man has unfortunately not been able to stay on the field. And after this last hamstring, the Packers are evaluating their running back position right now, wondering how do we make these numbers work with our offense going forward, hoping that Lloyd can come back at some point in time this season.
Davis Price, who just carried the ball, was signed Tuesday, August 12th. Originally a 3rd-round pick by the 49ers. He's played 8 games during his first 3 seasons with San Francisco and Philadelphia. Here he goes again. Spent the past off season with Tennessee. And on that 3rd and 2, he tried to corkscrew for the first. He got a yard. So it's 4th down and about 1. As time has left in the 3rd.
End of the 3rd quarter.
4th quarter ahead. 3 turnovers by Seattle. 2 short touchdown passes by 2 different Green Bay quarterbacks. 20-0 Packers. 4th quarter awaits on the Packer Television Network. 20-7. Green Bay on top of Seattle. 8:42 to go here at Lambeau Field. Final preseason game. Seahawks just punted. Packers will take over. Lamar Johnson will be in the backfield with the rookie free agent quarterback, 6'6", Taylor Elgersma.
I saw Elgersma before the game as they were singing the national anthem, Kevin. He had 2 cornerbacks on either side of him. He looked like a giant standing up.
He's huge. And here he goes with the pitch on 1st and 10. This is Johnson looking for a seam, and he's out to the 27-yard line, where he's brought down by O'Toole and others. Gain of 7 on the play. Out to the 27 of Green Bay.
Kevin, we talked about it a little bit earlier, and if you're wondering where the Packers are going to go with this position, where they're going to go with that position, just remember there's about 4 days here before cuts actually happen, and there's all kinds of trades options circling out there with different players that maybe the Packers have that another team may want, maybe vice versa. You got the waiver wire when teams start actually making cuts where good players will get cut around the NFL that can be brought in. Obviously, they need to jump straight to your 53-man roster. And then you have additions for guys that you have plans for in the future. Maybe there was a player that you were scouting coming out of college. He signed as an undrafted free agent somewhere else. They release him, and you can lure him in here to your practice squad because he's one of the guys that you've been wanting to develop since May. All those things will take place over the next 4, 5, 6 days.
3rd down and 1. Yeah, busy time in the NFL. And we've seen a couple trades being made, too, like you talked about leading up to it, and the history would show you before Labor Day. Trades are made. 3rd down and 1. Elgersma in the gun with Johnson at his side and getting a block from Banks, the left tackle. He dumps it off. It's Johnson. He'll swerve. He'll get the first down with a catch and run. And he's up to the Green Bay 38 on a catch and run of 8. On a play that was disintegrating quickly.
I love this out of Elgersma. It's one thing to have the guy that can stand in the pocket and deliver a big ball. And then how about being able to make something happen when nothing is there? That's what Elgersma does on this play, showing a little bit of his creativity at the quarterback position, finding Johnson late and Johnson finding a first down.
Banks is playing the left tackle. J.J. Lippy out of Northern Illinois playing the left guard. Smith the center. Handoff on 1st and 10. That's off to Johnson, who picks up 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. The ball up to the 42-yard line as we try to get some of these players here. Trey Hill is still in the game, 64. He has spent time with the Cincinnati Bengals over the last handful of years, a former 6th-round pick. 4 years at the Bengals, but only 3 games played and spent most of last year on the Bengal practice squad.
Yeah, you said it's a busy time this time of year in the NFL. It's also a nerve-wracking time for these players these next 5 days, waiting for phone calls. What is your fate with the team that you are just concluding preseason with? And then what are the phone calls coming in from other places? Do you have to go do tryouts? Are people going to claim you? Or are you going to come in and be on their 53, maybe their practice squad? A lot of plane tickets are going to be getting purchased in the next few days, and a lot of people flying all over the country.
Davis Price is the one who carried that. 3rd down and 3. And you know that feeling, don't you, John? Regardless if you're an all-pro player like yourself or a guy trying to make it as an undrafted player.
I didn't make an opening day roster, Kevin, until my 4th preseason. I'm very familiar with what it feels like to get cut. I know what these guys feel, but I knew I had a great preseason my 3rd year, and I knew somebody was going to pick me up. Luckily for me, it just happened to be the Green Bay Packers.
How about Elgersma right there? He first of all got a block from Davis Price. Then a little shovel pass after the pocket was crumbling further, and Davis Price goes with a catch and run of 7 and a first down for Green Bay.
This is the second time we've seen this out of him now, and you get to this position when you start feeling comfortable. You got to imagine he doesn't feel 100% comfortable, but he feels much better than those first 2 preseason games that we saw him in, Kevin. Now he looks like he's just playing football. He's out in the backyard, he's having fun, and he's making stuff happen.
Johnson makes the carry. Seth Coleman, the tackle, the defensive lineman and a rookie out of Illinois, free agent for the Seahawks. Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7.
And these preseason games, especially late in them, they get sloppy. Guys get out of position. There's some MAs. Players, coaches, scouts, they want to see who can make a play when it's not exactly done the way it's designed. Elgersma's done it twice.
Johnson the back, 2nd down and 7. Elgersma. And Johnson. Boy, he's not going to budge. Holding on for dear life with a nice play right there. There's Tupatala out of Washington, a rookie free agent and a linebacker. Seahawks last year finished, as John mentioned earlier, 10-7. They began 3-0, then lost 5 of 6 and finished out the year. And you detailed how they concluded. But they felt they needed to change a quarterback, and that's exactly what they've done, getting Darnold, who was free and let go by Minnesota. 3rd down 6. Elgersma to Johnson. And Johnson is hauled down by Jared Ivey. Gain of 5. 4th and 1 for Green Bay, and the clock continues to tick.